Our country is just getting started because the best is yet to come. This is only the dawn of the golden age of America. We're going to make it bigger, better, stronger, and we're going to love it even more.
On 4th of July 2026, the U.S. marked its 250th anniversary of independence. On the National Mall in Washington, 851,000 fireworks lit up the sky, setting a world record. President Trump stood at the foot of Mount Rushmore and proclaimed America's golden age has arrived. But the polls delivered a very different answer. As of early July 2026, Trump dropped approval stood at only 40.6%, while disapproval reached 57.4%. A Reuters Ipsos survey in late June put his approval at 34%, with 63% disapproving of his performance.
Most Americans are still in the middle of the bell curve, pretty moderate, want cooperation, want to operate on consensus, want to get past paralysis. So we're thinking more about the system, how it is or isn't working, what the causes are, what kind of candidates, what the public, there's greater public demonstrations, no kings, that kind of stuff, than there's been since the Vietnam War. I don't think people are disillusioned. People are distressed by, I think, by the paralysis in our system, secondarily by specific actions of our president. But that the system is not working right, and the Congress is not playing the role that it was intended to play and has played in the past.
Trump's economic narrative also failed to hold up under scrutiny. In his first term, the economy was Trump's strong suit, but in the second term, an AP NORC poll shows that only 37% of US adults approve of his handling of the economy. Break it down, a majority of Americans disapprove of his handling of inflation, and a large number of respondents said that the administration had done too little to curb price increases. On tariffs, a majority of Americans disapprove of his tariff policy, and most voters believe tariff has harmed the U.S. economy.
We've done a very bad job of mitigating the concentration of wealth, of not responding to earlier consequences of outsourcing, moving of industries out of the United States, not training people for the jobs of today.
But what strikes me about the U.S. is after 4 years of Trump, there was no attempt to diagnose why Trump got elected the first time. U.S. elites just went into the sand. They put their heads down and they ran. I think if we're going to deal with this kind of lower white middle class hillbilly elegy, that in my country anyway, is kind of the heart of MAGA, there has to be a lot more attention to job retraining, to helping these people who really are hurting in the American heartland, and that just hasn't happened at all.
That's the failure of government policy, which is in part a function of excessive prioritization of kind of Cold War conditions and policies that put a lot of money in the security bucket to do non-security things. That we could have done a better job, should have done a better job, or I hope beginning to catch up for it.
Even independent voters who once supported him are drifting away. AP/NORC analysis showed that among the independents without a college degree, Trump's favorability dropped from 48% around the 2024 election to roughly one quarter by the spring of 2026. The 250th anniversary should have been a moment for the US to showcase its leadership to the world, but Trump's American First has precisely abandoned that leadership.
特朗普是美国优先的，是让美国更加伟大，他不是这个要发挥全球领导啊，也不是提供公共物品，所以在这种情况下，你来谈美国的全球领导力，恐怕只能干着急了。
The U.S., the sort of legacy hegemon, is taking down the order it created. And in my view, in modern diplomatic history, we've never seen that before. So as a political scientist, I find this fascinating. As an American, I find this really troubling. But it's the first time a hegemon has willingly and actively undermined its own order.
At the start of his second term, Trump signed executive order to withdraw from the WTO and the Paris Climate Agreement, and subsequently initiated withdrawal procedure from 66 international organizations and multilateral mechanism.
我们现在给他的建议是，赶紧把欠联合国的钱给缴了，欠费了，再过2个月，联合国就要关门了。你美国现在是老赖，欠了加起来大概40多亿吧。你看中国中国现在已经是联合国会费的第二大缴款国了。我每年都是按期这个交费，从不拖欠。美国拖了多少年了？去年1分钱没缴，今年到现在也没缴，还有之前这个多年的这个旧账也没缴。所以我们现在给他提的要求就是赶紧交费，不要做老赖。
I think previous presidents more or less comply with international law. I know you can pick that apart, but I think it's true. And Trump just doesn't. So I think it's a real difference of kind with Trump.
The celebration can be lavish, the fireworks can be brilliant, but on the 250th anniversary, is the American dream still alive?
Younger generation is not as confident, or more accurately, the parents of our youngest generation has lost confidence in the certainty that the kids are going to live better than we did.
When a major world power chooses to abandon leadership, abandon responsibility, and abandon its commitment, what it gains is not greatness, but isolation, division, and the collapse of trust. At 250 years old, America may not lack fireworks, but what it lacks is a future that most of its citizens can feel proud of.